Hi, I'm Richard Maraj, Senior Minister at Unity of Phoenix Spiritual Center, and I want to thank you for visiting our website and for tuning in to today's message. If you feel inspired by today's talk, I really encourage you to make a donation by hitting that button below and making a contribution to this ministry. It'll allow us to continue these messages online and to do the great work we do here at Unity of Phoenix, which is to inspire people to live better lives. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for your support, and we hope to see you at a Sunday real soon. Morning again, everyone. And a shout out to everybody who tunes in and watches us online. So I have this squirrel in my backyard that runs around like it owns the place. He's a little arrogant, selfish squirrel. It's unreal. This squirrel engages in behavior that I consider disruptive, destructive, and disrespectful to the owner of the house. And from making a mess to making noise to literally damaging and vandalizing the yard and the furniture. It started 4 years ago with it running across the flat roof of my bedroom like it was a racetrack, disrupting my sleep. So I called someone, a professional, to engage in some techniques that would dissuade such activity. I'll just leave it at that. And it worked for a while, but then he really cranked it up because 6 months later, he went to the other side of the house where the guest bedrooms are and actually got into the roof and started playing and running around, sliding all over the place like it was his own personal Disneyland. Then I had to call my friend to do a little work. And then got even worse because then the next summer started actually digging holes and digging up, leaving piles, doing tunneling throughout. Again, I had to call and it ended for a bit. But 3 months ago, it was even worse. I saw him run up on one of the patio chairs, put his paws up on the top, and he's looking out like he's surveying his domain. Like he's the king looking out at his kingdom. And I could tell, I'm seeing this from my kitchen sink, and I could tell he saw me out of the corner of his eye, but he's ignoring me. This posturing was some way of kind of sticking it to me and taunting me. It's like, it's not his house. And I'm saying, I'm looking at you. You might not be looking at me. I'm looking at you. Because this is not okay. You don't know who you're messing with. I got so angry, I called that squirrel a name. I won't say what the name was, but I will say it's hyphenated. And so, but let's just leave it at that. And I've been getting a little concerned because every time I go in the backyard, I'm looking for this thing. I could be happy talking with a friend. I look, I see that squirrel, my demeanor changes. I get tense, I get angry. Remember all the things he's vandalized and damaged and disturbed my peace of mind. But it's been bothering me recently that I'm letting a squirrel get to me. I'm bothering that it's affecting my sleep. So I've been trying to get down to the heart of the matter and wondering what it's about. So how many people here ever got angry or upset at something that someone said to you you thought was cruel or mean? You couldn't get it out of your head. Anybody? How many people ever held a grudge so strong it was eating you up inside and you really couldn't sleep that well? How many people ever held on to the past and you were so stuck in it you had a hard time moving forward? Anybody? So today we wrap up our special summer version of the Songs of Life. Week 1 was Cat Stevens. Week 2 was U2. And then last week, Reverend Laurie did a great job with Bob Marley. Today, we're ending with Eagles' great Don Henley's song, Heart of the Matter. It appeared on the 1990 album, The End of Innocence, a solo album. And it's a song in the context of a relationship that's ended. And he's hurting, and he's stuck, and he's processing all these mixed emotions. It's a powerful song of the heartache of heartbreak, a sad song that we can all relate to. But it isn't just a sad song, it's actually an uplifting song that eventually gets to a happy, a hopeful, helpful, optimistic message and a healing and a freedom that comes with forgiveness. Henley said of the song, it took him 42 years to write and 4 minutes to sing. And the reason is because he's trying to illustrate forgiveness is not easy. It's not an easy thing, but it's an important thing. Reminds me of this Hagar the Horrible comic strip I saw, and this servant is talking to Hagar at Christmas time, and he says, "This is the season when we're supposed to forgive our enemies. Have you forgiven your enemies yet, Hagar?" And Hagar says, "Are you kidding? I haven't even forgiven my friends yet." So we're going to look at the message that the song Heart of the Matter has for us. We're going to look at the lyrics, and it's really kind of cool because in the beginning it shares about the difficulties and the pain that we go through, but eventually it gets to the solution and what we need to liberate ourselves, to find more peace and harmony and happiness in our lives. Let's start with the first verse. "I got a call today I didn't want to hear, but I knew that it would come. An old true friend of ours was talking on the phone. She said, 'You found someone.' And I thought of all the bad luck and all the struggles we went through and how I lost me and you lost you. What are those voices outside love's open door that make us throw off our contentment and beg for something more?" I bet every single one of us has received some news we didn't want to get, had something happen we didn't want to happen, experienced some hurt or loss or abuse or hate or conflict that we did not want to experience or have to deal with. The thing about life is that sometimes things don't go the way we plan. Sometimes there are some unexpected things, painful things, difficult things that happen in and out of relationships. One thing I've come to realize that life isn't easy for anyone. There are struggles and challenges that we all face in our lives. Things don't always go according to plan. Things don't always last that we hope will last. And when things don't go well, when they don't match the picture that we held, we can't figure out why it happened. We start asking ourselves, what went wrong? Why did that happen? How could that happen? We start getting into the, what if I'd only done this? If I'd only said that, and into the shouldas and the couldas and the wouldas, because we have a difficult time dealing with a picture that's different than the one we want, especially when that picture kind of hurts. And I love the line when it says that how I lost me and you lost you. Sometimes in the struggles and the pain of life and relationship, we lose ourselves. We lose our center. We lose our connection with ourselves and what we want, trying to please people and do different things. We act in ways that are different than we know who we are. And when things don't compute, sometimes, and we're hurting, we sometimes start making up stories about people. They don't really love me. You can't trust them. We just start making stuff up. But that squirrel is messing with me. I know it. Okay, that's true. But other people make up stuff. How many people have ever found a situation where you lost yourself, or you didn't like who you were, or didn't even recognize yourself in a certain situation? Anybody? Okay, about 10 of us, great. And life isn't easy. It's not easy dealing with things when they don't go well, and it isn't easy dealing with all people. Sometimes it isn't easy to love our family. It isn't easy to love our spouse or love our children. It isn't easy to love our neighbors. It isn't easy to love someone you don't like. It isn't easy to love someone who's broken your heart. It isn't easy to love Republicans. It isn't easy to love Democrats. And I meant to say Democrats first. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. So life isn't easy. Loving isn't easy. And you know what else isn't easy? Endings. We don't like when things end. It triggers sadness. It triggers loss. It kind of turns us and our world a little bit upside down, and we aren't quite sure how to deal with it and how to move on when especially we didn't want to move on. Let's go to the next line. I'm learning to live without you now, but I miss you sometimes. How many people ever had a job or a relationship you knew was over, You knew it was right for it to be over, that it wasn't the best, but you had a hard time moving on and you still missed it, missed that person. Sometimes letting go is not an easy thing, because even things that we let go, that there's a lot of good in it. There were things that brought us joy. Even though it's come to its end, for our future good, it's still a little bit painful and difficult. Whether we miss a job that we had, or miss a relationship, or miss a home, or miss the old town we used to live in, that it's tough sometimes, that we miss it. And there's nothing wrong with missing it. It's a part of the process of letting go. And quite frankly, I think it's a part of the process of acknowledging that there was good that we enjoyed about it. Now, it can get a little challenging when we keep holding on to it and wish it could be back the way it was before the pain. Wish it could get back to the fairy tale story that we had and wanted. Wished we could had it when the world made sense to us before the breakup or the upset or the pain. But the thing is, I think that's important to realize, and this is an unfortunate thing, is it's a part of the process of change, and unfortunately you can't flip the switch quickly. That the ending takes time. The missing and the grieving and letting go of this, but not quite to the new thing, it is a process that takes time. And what happens is we have to do some inner working and almost like starting over again. It's an experience of starting over again. That's why I like the next line. The more I know, the less I understand. All the things I thought I knew, I'm learning again. I bet every one of us had an experience where we thought, geez, I thought I was over that. Geez, I thought I'd already learned that lesson. And we think of it as a failure. It's not a failure. It's a part of the cyclical process of spiritual growth and deepening our wisdom and our insight. That sometimes it's a part of the renewal, to heal things at a deeper level, to see things at a deeper level, to understand things at a deeper level. You didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes we have to start over. I know people who say, I can't believe it, I'm 50, I'm just getting divorced, I have a new job, it's like I'm starting over again, all the way at the beginning. It's like, no, it's all the way at the beginning. You got a lot of wisdom now. We're just going through a cyclical period of certain challenges to help deepen our wisdom and our insight and understanding. Let's go to the next verse. It's long. I just want to do the end, but I'll do the whole thing. There are people in your life who've come and gone. They let you down. They've hurt your pride. Now, here's what I want. You better put it all behind you, baby, because life goes on. You keep carrying that anger, it'll eat you up inside. Baby. I like that he added baby at the end of it'll eat you up inside, baby. And what he's trying to say is that there are hurts and pains that we all experience, but continuing to carry that weight into your present from the past will do nothing but weigh down your joy, weigh down your happiness, weigh down your ability to move forward. Whether it's regret or blame or whatever it is, keep holding it, and it will keep us stuck in the past and not able to move forward. Jonathan Winters has one of my favorite lines ever. He said, I couldn't wait for success, so I went ahead without it. And the point I'm trying to make on that is that life will go on without you. You can stay stuck in yesterday or the pain as long as you want, but guess what? The rest of life is moving. The rest of life is moving forward. Here's one of the best quotes I ever heard in my life about forgiveness and its power. It's by Emmett Fox. He said, if we cannot forgive, we cannot make any real spiritual progress. If we cannot forgive, we cannot make any real spiritual progress. I believe if we can't forgive, we can't transform, we can't heal, we can't experience new joy and love and possibilities. We literally hold ourselves back. By not forgiving, we stop our own progress in so many ways. Here's a similar reiteration of the same message and idea in the book of Philippians. It says, forgetting what is behind and straining forward to what is ahead, I press on towards the goal to win the prize for which I've been called heavenward. And what it's saying is if you stay stuck in the past, guess what? You will not be able to claim the fullness of the life and the joy and the abundance and goodness that you are meant to. We hold ourselves back by looking back and not moving forward. from these painful situations. They're not easy. No one's pretending that they are. But to stay stuck in it, as if it wasn't painful enough to repeat it, to experience it once, to stay stuck in it literally deprives us of greater opportunities and joy and experiences, even if we don't know them, to know that those possibilities exist for us. And so here come the three solutions. There are times, these times are so uncertain, there's a yearning undefined, people filled with rage, and I was only looking for this one line, we all need a little tenderness. Sometimes we just beat ourselves up or criticize ourselves or judge ourselves for not being as good, as smart, as beautiful, as whatever we think it is. We punish ourselves, and just aren't very nice or supportive of ourselves. Always thinking we have to push yourself to be better. Sometimes we just need a little gentleness. We need to be a little more nurturing and caring to ourselves. And just be kind. I mentioned that line in the meditation. Jesus saying, come to me all who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest. Doesn't that sound comforting? Come to me all who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest. Notice he didn't say, come to me all who are weary and heavy burdened, and I'll give you a good thumping. I'll kick your butt, in fact. Jesus didn't say that. I might have said that, but Jesus didn't say that. Okay. And so I'm being a little silly, but the point is in what ways can you be a little more gentle with yourself in what you're going through? How can you be a little more tender and nurturing, a little more supportive and caring? We would do that for a child that's fallen. We would do that for people who are hurting or going through difficult times. Why not do it for ourselves? Everything isn't always push, go. Sometimes a part of our own healing is just to nurture ourselves, comfort ourselves. And the last, the chorus. I've been trying to get down to the heart of the matter, but everything changes, and my friends seem to scatter. But I think it's about forgiveness. Forgiveness, even if you don't love me anymore. First, let's look at an interesting thing. In the progression of it, he says that my thoughts seem to scatter, my friends seem to scatter, and he gets to, and then my ashes will scatter. And what he's trying to say here is that all these things are going on. At what point are you actually going to give yourself permission to forgive and let go and start choosing to move forward? When ashes are scattered, trying to say, look, there's a timeline here. We can't keep just waiting and not giving ourselves permission to live now, to be happy now. But here are the two things. I think it's about forgiveness. So he finally comes to the understanding, even though he's stuck, even though he's missing her, even though he's in pain, that he realizes to regain his peace and happiness, he's got to forgive. He's got to let go of the pain of the past, because the heart of the matter is forgiveness. The Aramaic word in Jesus' language of forgiveness means to loosen and to untie. Most of us think of forgiveness as, I hate your guts, I'm going to forgive you. But if you look at the word, it actually means to loosen and untie. So it means anything you're holding on to, whether it's sadness or pain or depression or regret, is that will you forgive means will you loosen and let it go? From it holding you and consuming you, will you just let it go? So what is it that you're holding on to that it's time for you to loosen and let go? To make peace, to release it, so you can move forward. So you can experience greater joy. So you can welcome new possibilities and opportunities. So that you can expand the truth of who you are. What is it that you need to forgive? Who do you need to forgive? What is it that you need to release? Because that's the heart of the matter. I've been talking about squirrels, but buffaloes, we can learn a lot from buffaloes as well. You know how buffaloes settle their disagreements? They let bisons be bisons. Okay. All right. Once again, it's about forgiveness. Forgiveness. Even if you don't love my jokes anymore, Okay. So the last one I want to talk about is the last line of the song, which is, even if you don't love me anymore. Even if you don't get what you want. See, it's not about the other person. The heart of the matter is about the forgiveness that goes on inside of you. That what you're feeling inside of you, that it's not eating you up, but that you've given yourself a gift of peace. Regardless of what, if the person loves you, doesn't love you, things work out or don't work out, it's what's going on inside of you. See, the heart of the matter is what matters happening in your heart. If you go a little deeper, the heart of the matter is more than forgiveness. You know what the heart of the matter is? It's actually love. Can you open? Forgiveness is a reminder to open your heart to love at a deeper level than you even thought you could love. To have compassion at a level you thought you couldn't have. Compassionate for you, for others. To be gentle and caring and to wish yourself and everyone good. That's what the heart of the matter is. It's actually about opening your heart to love. So what way can you love you a little more? What way can you send love out to someone who even, like you think, doesn't love you anymore? It's a powerful and important thing to open our hearts to love, because that's what life is about. You know, life isn't easy. From the heartache to heartbreaks, from grudges to betrayals, from unrequited love to unkindness. We experience all kinds of stuff in our lives and in our relationship, in our world. And forgiveness is a thing that frees us from that pain, frees us from being stuck. You know, and if you feel stuck, if you're hurting, if you want to have real progress and expand your capacity to be more loving and joyful and happy in your life, I invite you to consider the incredible, freeing practice of forgiveness, because forgiveness truly is the heart of the matter. God bless you all.